Hello and welcome. Theophany here for another. Oh, stinking. Yeah. So, I bought these a while ago. I want to say. I actually can't remember how much I bought them for. I'm going to post it on the video below just so you guys can see. We're going to open each and every one of these and see what we can get and just ask ourselves, are these worth the investment? Because I saw these in my local card store as well as Walmart and a few other places, and I was like, are these really worth buying? I don't know. Without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and let's open our first one. If you guys enjoy this content too, please hit that like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, and you won't miss a single video done by Theophany. How on God's green earth do you get into this? Do you go from the bottom and not the top? I think you do. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Wow, that is that's a lot of wasted space in this box. That doesn't impress me. Alright, so we are going to get the Blessed of the Sea. Not a bad one for our... I'm curious if each one of them is going to have that colors version. Or if it's just completely random. Honestly, I probably should have brought the box that had a pile of them. We're going to sort these as we go as well. We're going to slide that out of our way. Commons. So these packs are designed in mind that you can literally just add lands in play. So that's a really neat thing about these. So something like the Shiverwing Chimera, that's really powerful. If you've got mechanics that when your enchantments come into play, they do certain effects. That's not a blue card. Not a bad uncommon. Well, it's got, seems to have some of the staples for the blue enchantments in it. Continuing through. Trying to sort these is a pain. Hey, we got another Captive Beloved of the Sea. Honestly, I prefer this version of the card over the alternate arts. And it's not just because the alternate arts are printed into absolute oblivion. Again, we talked about him in the last video. I thought he was completely trash. So we have another Saga. This one actually did really well for me in drafting, because more often than not, you're going to be able to play it and your opponent's not going to have really strong removal. Common, common. Beautiful little uncommon. Not really. Uncommon. Common. Ooh! Thassa's Oracle. I don't know what he's worth. If any luck, I'll try to post him on the video here, but not a bad card. He's definitely an interesting build around. And this is Wizard saying buy more magic cards. Yeah! So, we're going to do this a smart way now. We're not going to open from the top. We're actually going to open from the bottom, because this is all hollow. I wish that they put something up here. Even throwing lands up there so you can have a full deck or something. This just seems like a lot of wasted space, and I feel bad for any of our local stores that have to ship these things. Because you're shipping air. Anytime you gotta ship air, that's not a good thing. Don't steal from us. I'm just gonna do a double take. Yeah, there's nothing. There's literally nothing in there. Yeah, right. So this definitely, you're getting a pile of commons and uncommons. And if you're trying to build your collection, maybe these aren't a bad way to go. But I think once you get to a certain point, by the looks of it, they're not worth purchasing. It's not worth spending the extra money on. He is beautiful, and he belongs in every red deck wins. Just because his mechanic that whenever a non-token dies, create a 1/1 Centaur token. This creature can't block, which your red deck wins. Why do you care if your cards can block? And if the creature that dies has power 4 or greater, which with him in a mono red deck is pretty stinking easy, you create 2 of those Centaurs. That combined with Torbrand is just stupid. Alright, continuing through a lot of these. I didn't play a lot of red. I played a lot of the altars though. I just for some reason really loved that card, and I couldn't tell you why. And then we get a normal version of him, which is pretty nice. I should be sorting these. I'm sorry, guys. Uncommon. Uncommon. Final Flare. Sacrifice a creature. It's not that great because you're 2 for 1-ing yourself. Thrill of Possibility. Manticore. Furious Rise. This, for the few times I did do red, I drafted this card, and it is really powerful. Because in this set, to get a card with power 4 or greater is really not that hard. Yeah, it's common. Card's slippery. That's kind of disappointing. Unless that card, that's junk. Unless that card really upped in value, I don't think it's worth it. So far, I think we're definitely, I just got to go through these real quick, guys. I should have did this from the beginning, but it should go pretty quickly. I never realized Escape Velocity wasn't uncommon. Till the video before this one. Yeah, alright. Almost done here, guys. Again, I apologize. I'm sure I missed one and somebody's in the comments screaming at me. So, you definitely get a pile of commons compared to uncommons. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the next pack. Again, not from the top. Open from the bottom, otherwise you're going to be fighting the air. Oh my soul. The glue. Beautiful Sentinel Eyes. We'll only have about 12 of those by the time we're done with this. Alright. Commanding Presence. That is a really powerful card in Limited. That definitely won a lot of games. Life's Bounty is pretty good as well. He gives anything essentially protection. The Chimera. Daybreak Chimera was really good in Limited just because usually you played a 3/3 flyer for 2 mana. Chosen by the Sun. Another Birth. I'm thinking about making a Grand Obado Augustus IV deck. And the Birth of Metallus, Birth of M, was one of the cards that came to mind. I was like, that'd be pretty decent in that deck. The Dawn Englail is pretty decent as well. Another beautiful, dreadful Apathy. The Transcendent Envoy, oddly enough, just as a 1/2 body enchantment, really overperformed for me. Just because A, he stopped a lot of the flying shenanigans, and B, he usually made your enchantments cheaper, your auras, and he buffed. Heliad's Pilgrim is one of the best white commons in the set, if not the best, because you'd search your deck for an aura card, and ideally you're searching for something like your, it's here somewhere. Oh my sweet baby Jesus. Fight with it. You're searching for your Commanding Presence, and those two just went together so well. Phalanx Tactics is pretty good, especially if you're going to go wide. Captive Unicorn. Lioness of the Lost Pride was a really good 3/1 aggro, usually traded 1 for 1 with something. Revenant Hoplite, I don't think I ever drafted him, but he's not a bad card, especially if you're going to be heavy white. Getting definitely... So we're getting some decent uncommons in this pack. A little story about this guy. I remember looking at him in the very beginning of this set being like, that card's stupid. I don't know why you play it. By the end of the set, this was my #1 drafted card on Arena. I think I drafted like 30 of him. So, yeah, he's really nice. Vanishing Light. That is a beautiful card. It just removes a permanent so long as Vanishing Light remains in play. A lot of people don't run enchantment removal on their main board. And if they do, they usually only run like 1 or 2. Ooh, Shatter the Skies. That's a pretty decent card. It says each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card. Then destroy all creatures. Oh. So this is unique. We haven't seen this yet. This is the 3rd pack we've opened. You will not see this in a booster pack unless you get a rare. And yeah, that's actually 2 pretty nice rares to pick up. This one says, whenever this card attacks, untap target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible. She sucks if your deck has a lot of vigilance. Because I'm not certain how that mechanic's going to work. But I think it would work in such a way that... I'm sorry, guys. It's a really uncomfortable position I'm in. I'm not super optimized for video recording yet. Maybe at the end I'll show you guys what I'm doing. But, oh jeez, I'm crying with these packs. They hate me with a burning passion. More trash. Don't steal from us. I did bump it. I bumped it quite a bit, actually. Get this out of the photo. I'm sorry. Alright. Alrighty then. So, a card that is miserably irritating to me was this one. It is a 2/3 for 2 mana, which by itself is really decent and limited. And then it's got a pile of effects that makes blue cry. The first one being, creatures and enchantment spells you control can't be countered. I love that, because I love anything that shafts blue, because I hate that color. And then, oh, sorry, we weren't done. And then you can tap 4. Target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It's still a land. That's really nice. Common. Moss Viper. I put a lot of value on this card just because it's a 1/1 with Death Touch, and it's very hard not to trade up with this. The Horn Beetle. Beautiful card. Oddly enough, I never realized how strong this was till near the end of the format, because I thought his, with power 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. I thought that only triggered one time ever, and then you essentially have 3/3 for 2 mana. Every turn you have a creature with power 4 or greater, this Horn Beetle is getting buffed. It's kind of disgusting. This wasn't bad. It's a bit pricey, but it is an okay removal card if your opponent's got a tricky creature you need to kill. The Forerunner, not a bad guy. For a common, he was really good. The Birth of the Titans. If you played from your grave, this card is amazing. I bet it goes in like pretty much all reanimator decks. And nice reprint. Didn't like this guy at all. I never was able to find a way to make him work. The one time I used, not this guy. The one time I really was like, I'm going to try his effect because I'm so desperate for life, I milled the card that was going to save me in a game. I was pissed. Nexen Wardens, beautiful card. The idea that whenever an enchantment comes into play under your control, in a set that's based all around enchantments, you gain 2 life. That life was actually very relevant. I was surprised. Big dumb creature. These are all both commons, yeah. And the yeah, that card. This card here. If you're mono green, really good. If you're not, meh. Hydrous Growth. What a beautiful, beautiful card. I just love the idea that this just makes something go out of control. Imagine something like this on like the almighty Brushwag. Obviously that's not super optimal, but I mean it's a 1/1 with trample and a Hydrous Growth. Ooh, I just thought of a really good combo with him. But we'll wait till the next video. Alright. So just sawing through some of these commons. That way we don't spend too much time talking about the same thing. This, oh god. Yep, that's probably screwed up the whole video. Let's move this out of the way real quick. Alright, we're back. This was actually premium removal in this set, just because it was such heavy enchantment focus, and it was 1-drop. Sicilian Training was pretty good because when it came into play, you drew a card, and it gave a creature +1/+0 in trample. This is okay. I mean, it's a 3-drop. There's worlds where you play it, and there's worlds where you cut it. But the fact that it buffs something. So if you've got a flyer enchantment like the 1/2 2-drop white guy that says aura spells you play cost 1 less, you take this to buff him. He becomes a 2/3. He's now swinging in for 2 damage instead of just 1. Because there's a lot of games I found it gets to a point where you can't break their land units, so you have to go through some alternate means to do damage. Alright. Again, just sort through some of these commons. Uncommon. Mono green, I can see this being really powerful. Anything else, this seems to suck. Ooh, we got a beautiful, beautiful rare here. So, I played this in a couple decks, and it's really good, in limited at least. The idea that you pay 4, and you give any creature +4/+4. Usually you want to give something with evasion. And so now your opponent's like, crap, now I got to destroy that. But even if they destroy this, it creates 2 green wolf creature tokens, which is another threat for them to deal with. That's why that was super powerful. So we're just going to jump right on in to our next pack. This is the final pack of Miserly Nightmare to open. That's a pretty good start. We're going to first card of Mire's Grasp. Yeah, alright. Mire's Grasp, most of you probably know what this is. It's a better version of Deadweight. And in this set, it was really strong. Temple Thief was actually really strong in this set because I found myself drafting a pile of enchantment creatures and very few non-enchantment creatures. And when my opponent played this, they usually got around me. And it became pretty good evasion. Again, the Hateful Edict. I don't even know why I try. This card's beautiful because it helps with the 2-for-1ing in this set. That and things like Mogus's Favor combined with this, you can use this sometimes to remove an opponent's creature. And then you can, if you have this in play, you kill a creature and draw a card. That is an awesome combo. Or her and Mire's Grasp. The reason why the Mogus's Favor was so good with him is it has Escape. And Escape is actually really powerful. Common. The Gray Merchant of something. This card, I can't remember if it was a common in the last set or if it was a rare. I think it was a common. But not a bad guy. Minions Return. I saw the Minotaur, so it had to be a Minotaur up here. Not a bad card. For 3 mana, the only thing that sucks is if somebody played something that just removed your guy from the field. Because in order to die, the card has to go to the graveyard. So it had some advantages in some really aggro decks, but anything else, it did not. Enemy of the Enlightenment. It gets -1 for each card in your opponent's hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent discards a card. He was usually a 5/5 flyer for 6. And that's kind of terrifying to deal with, at least in this format. This card was just too expensive, in my opinion, to really make it work well. Not going to lie, there was times that he helped. But overall, I don't think he was great. Aspect of Lamprathy. That's a nice card. The idea that the opponent discards 2 cards, so if you can play this on turn 4, just for that is huge. Because you think, I think his Mind Rot was a 3-drop, target opponent discards 2 cards. This by itself is a 4-drop, so it's one more mana, but it also gives lifelink. Not a bad card by any means. Drag to the Underworld. This all stinking day long was premium removal. Because if you had any creature in play that had Devotion for 2, or even just enchantments in play, this card costs 2 mana to destroy any creature. Really powerful. Underworld Dreams, I'm looking forward to making a deck around this guy. The idea that when your opponent draws a card, this deals 1 damage to that player. Really good for Devotion because it's 3. That was what makes this card really strong in this format. Hard to build around in Limited, though. The Mire Triton is actually really powerful. The idea that it's a 2/1 with Death Touch, so essentially it's hard to trade down because it's only a 2-drop. And then when it enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard, and you gain 2 life. This is just an all-around good card. The Spawn. Not a bad card. The fact that when it becomes really powerful is when you exile it. escape it. And it's super strong. And the idea that your opponent has to sacrifice a non-Gorgon creature could be game breaking when in the right scenario. We got plenty of the Gray Merchants. We've talked about the Inevitable M. Beautiful card. I guess it's not really premium removal, but it is good removal. Alright, Elspeth's Nightmare. Destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 2 or less. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land, non-creature card from that. That player discards the card. Exile target opponent's graveyard. This card is stupid in this set, where there's so much graveyard build around. That's really powerful. The infamous Final Death. This is a premium removal for this format. Just because it's 5 mana and it doesn't destroy it, it just gets rid of it. So this gets rid of your God cards and anything like that. Gray Merchant. Omen of the Dead, my favorite of the omens. Another Mire Tritement. Ooh. A Tyrant Call of the Dead. This card is really good if you're putting it in a zombie deck. And it's not bad if it's not in a zombie deck. Like a reanimated deck, this isn't bad either. But it's really powerful in a zombie deck. So we bought 5 cards, 5 of those packs. And I got a total of 6 rares. And as far as I know, we didn't get a single mythic. So going off of that, with this being what we're walking away with, if you're young and you're like, I just want a pile of cards, this is probably a good investment. If you're not, and you're looking to get like the best ROI, I'm thinking buying the individual booster packs is better. We'll be able to test that theory here soon enough, but guys, I'm glad I got to open this. If you guys enjoyed this as well, and you want to see more, please smash that like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, and you're going to see a lot more of this content. Until next time, guys, this is Theophany, signing off.